Yes, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast where we got Liverpool top of the league. We got my boy Ephraim. Say what's up to the boys.
What's going on, guys? Game week 3 is done, and your boys chilling on top of the league. Only ones with 3 wins. Chelsea was right underneath us. Arsenal, then Spurs, Everton. So a lot of upsets, a lot of consistencies, a lot of questions going around. And it's only week 3, and we've had a lot of crazy games. So really looking forward to this season. And City questionable. Chelsea were at first, but now looking good. Spurs are going to be Spurs. Grealish back in form. And can anyone stop Liverpool? Let's get into it, boys. Started theirs.
Yeah, so big game that we just had. Arsenal versus Liverpool. I mean, you could a lot of people were probably looking at that game as a title decider. I think it's too early for that. And also Arsenal had their fair share of injuries. A lot of transfers have happened after the fact that are really going to really define, I guess, what is to come from both of these teams. But an overall, I would say, underwhelming game. I mean, a 0-0 game, not much going on. A lot of back and forth, but not really knocking on the door, right? A lot of controlling in the midfield, getting there, and then trying to put in a cross, and not much going on. And it comes down to one man. Uh, some people say he's the second coming of Jesus. He looks beautiful. He has a
Handsome.
crazy long shot, and he showed us all what he's capable of. One question though: who the fuck said it's okay to put this guy at right back? This man is tearing it up when he goes on the offense. He creates an opportunity all the time. I think he's being wasted on that right back. But what are you thinking? How do you see it?
Well, I'll start from the start between just the game Liverpool Arsenal. All right, because yeah, it was a very underperforming game. There wasn't much going on. It was a big just hold still. But it was that's when you have that's what happens when you have two giants go at it. You're not gonna have uh, shit defense. You're not gonna have a whole pile of goals, especially when Ateta's coming into this looking for a draw. He put three defensive midfielders in that midfield. Like you can only do so much, And it was just Gyökeres and Madueke chilling up top, having to 1v1 everybody whenever they attack. They had no one between the midfield and defense and their tech. Arteta was just trying to get the tie. Liverpool trying to work around it, had a couple shots, but it's tough. This is going to be a tough Arsenal to beat. And they have one of the best defense. Unfortunate to lose Saliba in the fourth, fifth minute, but he knew what Ekitike had to show. He just pussied out. And not just playing, but it's there was some injuries, but they also had you just got Eze, put him in. Odegaard, maybe he's coming back from injury, but these are the type of games that are going to win you titles, and you can't be going in trying to just get a tie. If Arsenal really wants to make themselves that team that's going to be a title winning team, you need to go into that game with the winning mentality. All right. And I think that's always been Arsenal's problem, especially as of late with that Teta. They kind of just want to have the defend first, and when you're at Anfield, all right, we'll get the tie. But you gotta be hungry, man. And they were looking for the tie, and what happens? Soboslai was like, nah, not today, buddy. I'm just going to fucking screamer 30 yards out. And yeah, it's a shame we have to see him at right back, but Soboslai, he's like Valverde. He could play. He could do it all. He could play everything. He's just solid, you know. And when we need a right back, Frimpong's hurt. Uh, Bradley's hurt. I mean, we could put Endo. We could put Gomez. Uh, but why not have Soboslai when we know we usually bring that right back into the midfield when we're going up? That's just another midfielder, creative midfielder that's going to help us out. And he's so fast. He's so strong. He's so like awareness is top level. Like he could defend. He was looking. Nobody was getting past him, so he could play the right back spot and help out up top and score a fucking free kick when he wants to. And I mean that's what he did. He does it all. He's a man of many talents. So I hope he got what he deserved after that game. He got some. I hope to treat him right because that man is. Quite the specimen, man. What a beautiful man, and what a beautiful goal, man. You can't get better than that against a team against Raya, bro. He's such a good goalkeeper. Like he's, in my opinion, he's top five goalkeepers. His ball handling is great, and his distribution is awesome, and his shot stopping has been good. But to score a fucking screamer like that on Raya on their forehead and just no one does it like Dom. Number 8, our next DVG. Uh, it was amazing. Although there wasn't much action, it was very stalemate. But uh, I mean, that's what you go. That's what happens when you play a very defensive Arsenal. The bright side of Liverpool, we finally got a clean sheet. So goes to show, improvements all around. Do I think it? This is a title decider. Nowhere close, but every point matters. Now we're 2 points clear from second place. It could come down to 2 points in the last final stages, so every point matters. But there's still a long, long way to go. So not counting my eggs before they hatch. But yeah, what do you think about City, man?
Yeah,
City are in
City
shambles, lad.
City has been the disappointment. I mean, as far as disappointing teams or teams that have kind of gone against what we projected, right? From the video that we had earlier, I think City is one of the teams where you're questioning what is really going on because they did do a lot of business during the transfer window. Um, but two losses back to back. They started off strong, 4-0 win against Wolves, right? Then they play Tottenham, and Tottenham, they've been growing a lot this season, and they gave it to them 2-0 win. But then
Dude,
Brighton,
that game,
to lose against Brighton, I mean that
completely outclassed.
it kind of, for me it's a wake up call. For me it's kind of like a reality check, and maybe just hey, this is your reality, and things aren't just all peachy anymore. So it's time to, I guess, get deep into that Pep Guardiola mind and figure out what's gonna save City, I guess, for the rest of the season, because Tottenham is doing their thing, Liverpool's doing their thing, Arsenal and Chelsea are also doing their thing. What are the chances that Manchester City doesn't qualify for Champions League next season?
Yeah.
What do you think about
Is it
that?
still top? Is it still top four? They're not changing it to
I mean,
top
it's
five.
top four. It's top four as far as if they get the extra spot based on positioning, right, in the Champions League. Like last season, England got that extra position due to more like having higher position player teams in the Champions League table, that they give them that extra, I guess, bonus.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could happen. That could very much happen. But I'm sure no team really wants to be that fifth spot. They want to make sure that they're within that top four to get automatic Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, City were looking so good in that first game. 4-0. I mean, to be fair, it was Wolves, who, I mean, they're 0-3, but they just look so good. And you would think they got Rangers now, Cherokee, mixing in with Holland and Marmouche. They're going to be cooking. Against Spurs, they were completely outclassed. Like, I watched that game, and that whole second half, like City were trying, but Spurs just wasn't giving them anything. They weren't giving them anything, and to lose 2-0, and City were home, right? City were home that game. City were home that game in your own
I think
background
so.
or in your own playground. and and then what's the most Spursy thing to do? Next week go ahead and lose to Bournemouth, but I'm gonna give Bournemouth your credit, bro, because they've been looking good. All right, Bournemouth gave. I mean, they almost tied with Liverpool. If it wasn't for Chiesa last final minutes, that's a tight game. They go on and beat Wolves, uh, and then they go on and beat Spurs. So I mean, Bournemouth, they're looking real good, man. I watched that game against Liverpool, and they look solid. I like what their manager's doing. They just got players that could, be game changers. And Bournemouth, I mean, I think they ended off the last season pretty well too. So I think they're just carrying on for that momentum. So that's definitely one to be keep an eye out on. Will they finish in any European spots? Who knows? But they look good. Spurs, I mean, City, I think they will eventually figure it out. They have Man United next, so big game. I mean, big game. I mean, it should be a big game, but I mean, it's United, so I'm looking like 4-0 City up. But I mean, I think that's going to be a real big test because if they can't do it against United, there's going to be a lot of questions being asked. And are the transfers they got putting in the work? Is it Pep? Is his system out? Is it time for a new system? I saw a journalist ask him, is they're going to change the system, and Pep just said, "You mean the system that won me, six Premier Leagues, 12 titles in 7 years?" Like, it doesn't seem like he's changing anything, But football changes. Either you keep up or you get left behind. So we'll see if City can adapt and play their cards right because they already got two losses in the first three games. I think there was a season where they won they won the league with only a loss or two. So unless they go on and win every next game, then it's going to be a tough uphill battle for them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think okay, Tottenham is a good team. Brighton has been a team that is kind of like hit and miss. They're not like, we're not saying that they lost to Wolves or a team that just got promoted, right? There's some sort of value, I guess, to these teams that they're losing to, but I think it's still not enough. On the flip side, Tottenham has been, I think, I mean, besides the Bournemouth game, um, I think they've really been performing very well. Their new transfers have been doing good. Palhinha in that center mid, which I think is another thing that City is missing. That piece, that Rodri piece, how important Rodri is to Pep's kind of system. And I think I think it's just another error, I guess, in the system that hasn't been dealt with. They haven't really bought in anybody to be his substitution, and he's still coming back from the injury, which is unfortunate
It's gonna be
for
tough.
Man
It's gonna be
City.
tough.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Man City's system, but it is what it is. But Tottenham on the flip side, Kudus started off strong, got 2 assists in his first game. Richarlison's coming back, scoring goals. Palhinha scored a goal against Man City to kind of put the dagger to Man City. Unfortunate loss against Bournemouth, but to be honest, from what I saw, right, did not watch the game live, but from what I saw, as far as like highlights and stuff, I think Bournemouth kind of controlled that game. They scored early on, and they didn't just sit back and defend. They gave it to them, and there was a lot of opportunities for Bournemouth to get 2-0. They hit the post, and
Hmm.
it's just I think Tottenham really needs to go and maybe reassess the situation. Thomas Frank's a good coach, and of course they're barely getting into the system. Things need to be tweaked and stuff. But overall, I think sure they lost against Bournemouth, but overall, to me, they are doing better than what I expected, so to speak. What are your takes?
Yeah, and I think they will do better than what we expected because I know none of us had Spurs top four.
Mm-mm.
I don't even know if we had them top five.
No, I think
And
maybe you had them fifth and I had them sixth.
yeah, but look, they do that against City. Maybe they got outclassed by a good Bournemouth right now, but they go on and sign. They have Xavi Simmons coming in. Not
Mm-hmm.
only that, you get Colomani on loan. So they're only strengthening up top. And Palinha, good defensive midfielder, along with Kudos. Like I think they did really good in the transfer window. They got the center back from Bayern. I mean, I think Thomas Frank is just coming from Brentford with a stronger team, better team, and he made Brentford pretty strong. And now he's coming into a better, more financial team, better squad, bringing in players, kind of finally do more of what he actually wants to do. And I don't know, man. We might be seeing a Spurs top four finish if they just keep it up.
Yeah,
So I
especially if Man City doesn't kind of rise with the rest of the pack, I think Tottenham is going to be that team that pushes them. I think another disappointing team has been Manchester United. I thought they were going to do good. They had a good preseason. They went out and they got a lot of they got a lot of forwards, um, and they go into this season. They lose against Arsenal 1-0, corner kick, typical, right? It is what it is. You kind of move on from that, but then you go to Fulham. You win. You're winning. They tie you up. You miss it. Like there was a penalty that was missed early on, and you end up tying a game that you should be winning, especially considering the fact that you have no other competitions really to stress about. And I think they took that a little bit too serious and they went to Grimsby, a fourth division team, and lost in penalties. Uh, unfortunate. Well, not even unfortunate, just terrible.
Trash.
This is not at all what Manchester United is. Um, the fans deserve better. The players aren't doing
You
enough.
don't have any European cups this season. The one cup that you could possibly win, you would go out in the first round. Now, and you're not even doing good in the Premier League. Dude, did you see their Amarim playing with the little tactic board when
I mean, that's
they were down 2-0?
the
I
tactic board. Yeah, I
mean,
saw that clip, but I mean,
like, what are you
everyone
doing? It's
might.
Grimsby, bro. Liverpool used to let Pep Linders play against these fucking Carabao Cup teams. Like, it's soccer, you know. You don't gotta go to your book to figure out, how to score goals. But I mean, what the fuck do I know? I'm no manager, but it just looked, like, what are you doing, man? You're not doing shit. You're giving the trust by this team. You brought players in. You have one win out of your last four. You're already out of the one of the two cups that you could have won. Do you think it gets the boot?
I personally think that if you give him the boot, you're digging yourself in a deeper hole. Because the thing that I think that Manchester United struggle with the most is they don't have an identity anymore. They had Sir Alex Ferguson that coached them for 20 plus years. He created an identity. He got in players that fit his system, and and he didn't have players that didn't fit his system because he was constantly bringing in players that fit his exact system, right? But the thing with Manchester United is you went from having Sir Alex Ferguson, right? He would play like a 4-4-2 most of the time, and then you go to Louis Van Gaal, who played a 4-3-3, and then now you're playing with the 3-5-2, and you have all these players that were bought by under different, I guess, administration, not like administrations, right? Because they've had the same like kind of ownership, but as far as like Ten Hag signatures and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, people that were signed during his time, and now you have Amorim who has a different identity and a different system. That you're right, like they got rid of them a lot of the players this season, right? You got rid of Sancho. Well, he's only on loan, but Sancho's out for the season. Rasmus Højlund didn't fit his
Garnacho.
system. He left. Garnacho, Anthony, Rashford. These are kind of more out
But
wingers,
that's their whole. That's their
and
whole attack. You
but
got
they
rid of
brought
their whole
in
attack.
but they brought in a whole new attack, right? They brought in Mbuemo, they brought in Cunha, they brought in Sheshko to be that sort of Christmas tree
Yeah.
formation that he likes to play with more inverted wingers who kind of are support strikers more than they are wingers, right? So that's what he did, and he went and he got it. Now you expect the results to come with it, right? Maybe the players, I don't want to keep on saying the same thing, but maybe the players just don't understand his system yet. But I mean, at this point, you have to.
Mm,
Bruno Fernandez has been always with the tantrums. He's always done the tantrums. And as far as a captain, you kind of want somebody a little bit more um, stoic, a little bit more kind of composed, and kind of being that
not a
that
pussy, you know.
yeah,
Not
that's
go
someone
for
that you could look
practically.
to, right? If you see your coach, if okay, put it into different terms, right? If my dad is crying, as and I grew up seeing my dad crying and complaining and doing all this stuff, I'm probably going to be doing that, right? So you see this person as your role model, you would want them to represent the team as best as possible. You would want your captain to be somebody who is on the front line and is going to, puts his chest to the bullets, and it is what it is and doesn't complain about things, right? Because then it just kind of sets the tone for the rest of the players. Now the rest of the players are going to be crying and they're going to be like, it's okay, our captain does it too, right? And it's this sort of mentality that people will start to gravitate onto, and it's not good, right? You see all the other teams. What other captain is really out there like complaining, right? You see Virgil van Dijk. He's even telling people like, "Hey, chill out." He'll check people when they
Leader.
start to. Yeah, that's a true leader, and I don't
Fucking
think
leader.
Bruno is. I don't think Bruno is that for Man United, and it's unfortunate because he is their best player, but his mentality
Yeah.
is not good enough. He's not. He doesn't have a strong mentality, in my opinion. Um, and I would
Being
love
the
to
best player
see.
doesn't make you a leader.
Mhm. I'd love to see Manchester United kind of go out of this, kind of grow from this, but it's unfortunate that it's kind of, to put it lightly, kind of like poison from within. I think there's a lot of deep rooted problems, and I think, I mean, I'm a Ronaldo fanboy, and I think he exposed a lot of it, and that's the reason why he left, because he saw this isn't Manchester United as he remembered it. Um, they have done certain things to try to uh, grow from it, right? I think Sir Ratcliffe is doing some stuff, but is it enough? I don't think so. So I guess in summation from all that, I hope Amarim stays, and I hope Amarim is given the confidence from the board to get players that fit his system and get rid of, I guess, the bad apples, right? That are going to end up spoiling the rest of the fruit. So yeah, that's kind of Manchester United in a nutshell. Yeah, there's more
Yeah,
teams that I kind of.
just to add on to that, what I will give Bruno is you could tell he loves the team. He loves the team, so at least you have that. You have someone who's gonna fight for it. Um, but he just needs to stop being a crybaby, man. It's just annoying, and it's like poison. It's toxic. Your whole team starts doing it, like you mentioned. You want a leader. You want someone to look up to who's gonna be that brick wall for your team. And yeah, there's some definitely things he could change, but that's just how he is. Amarim, it makes no sense to give him the boot yet, especially after he's bringing players who are fit for his system. Like it would be dumb to bring in a new manager with another system with players meant for this system. Maybe it's not working right now, but you got to give him his time, and maybe over time, more games, they start clicking together. It's a whole new front three, So we'll give him that. Time will tell. But you're right. You're only digging yourself a bigger grave if you get rid of the manager. So we'll see. Um, we'll see. I mean, we didn't. Our hopes weren't high for Man United anyway, but
But I
we
think
did expect
because
a little. We did expect a little bit more. We did expect a
yeah,
little bit more from that
we
piece.
had him top six, so that's important. I think in the Premier League, that's Europa. That's some sort of European competition. Um,
Yeah, and as a
and I
Man U
think
fan, you want your team fighting for that European spot. You're one of the biggest names in this in the league. You want to be fighting for Europe, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for the fans that this isn't what they expected either, and they don't want to see this, so they're going to be upset, which is totally right. I mean, if Liverpool was in the same picture after buying these transfers and new manager, then I'd be like, "Yo, it's good. You're not doing your job right."
yeah,
But
exactly.
I'm a back my manager, my team, and just hope that over time things get better. You can't get
Yeah,
worse in here, so
they can though. They could get relegated, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, I think they did a lot of selling players, and hopefully that helps with the whole idea of get rid of the bad apples, and the rest of the fruit won't get spoiled. Another team that I think we'll talk about a little bit too, as far as their transfer things that have been disappointing in my eyes, is Newcastle. Newcastle, I feel like, has been going under the radar, but they have not won a game this season. Lost or tied 0-0 to both Leeds and Aston Villa, and lost to Liverpool. Granted, they had a decent game against Liverpool. I think we could both agree they had a good game, just
and with
a
10
little
men.
bit short. And with 10 men, just fell a little bit short. Came down to the last minute again. Uh, it won't say it on the stats, but Dominic Soboslai kind of created that opportunity for my boy. And hey, congratulations to Ngamoa for scoring his first Premier League goal as
Oh my
a
god,
15 or 16 years old.
he was 16.
16, yeah. At 16 years old, I was still doing inappropriate stuff with my pillows. But yeah, Newcastle.
Exactly.
Newcastle, no wins, two goalless draws. Isak is out.
Isak is out.
They got
They lost.
Voltemade. I rate Voltemade. I think he's a 1-for-1 for Isak, a tall, lanky guy who's techie.
90
So,
mil.
but I mean, they sold
So
Isak for
you're
150.
yeah. So that they're getting their money back, but they got
Definitely a risk.
they got Wisa too
Okay.
from Brentford.
hmm
So they got what they wanted. Two forwards before this whole Isak that happened. Um, but I mean, I like Eddie Howe. I think he's a smart man. I think he'll bring Newcastle back up. But it was just there's a lot of noise at Newcastle. There's a lot of bad energy starting off the season. So I think if they would have beat Liverpool or at least tied with 10 men, they would have had better energy going on. Obviously, that's not the case. But now that Isak is sold, it's almost like taking a bad tooth out. You're relieved. Now we could get on. I feel like Newcastle season is starting right now. Yeah, they had a bad 3 games, but they're still in Champions League. Anything could happen. They could do good then, still make some money in, and you still got the rest of the season. They're not gonna get relegated, but yeah, they did slip under the radar, but they have been a lot of bad vibes over there. So I feel like for Newcastle, their season starts now, and they have
Yeah,
Wolves. So that's a good way to, all right, kind of reestablish yourself. Let's get a comfortable win and just get it going.
yeah, they did. I think they did decent in the transfer window, right? You sold Isak for a lot of money, and you went in for Wisa and Voltemade. I think very good players. Wisa proven in the Prem. Voltemade, a young, kind of a um, riskier profile, but I think he fits the system, right? He's kind of like a one for one Isak. You also got Jacob Ramsey from Aston Villa, who was never like anything crazy, but I think he always served his purpose, right? You also got Anthony Elanga, who I rate a lot, very
He's
quick
good. He's good.
winger.
Super
He's
fast.
quick, and then you kept players like Anthony Gordon, and the rest of the squad. I like their midfield with Tonali and Guimaraes, but I don't know. I feel like their defense is a little bit weak. When you look at their center backs, I mean, Botman
Burn.
Botman super fast, Shard decent, and Burns super tall. They kind of have like a one of everything, but their wing backs. I think that's something that maybe needs to be looked into, in my opinion. I don't know. How do you feel about their fullbacks,
Who's that?
Trippier and Livramento?
Livramento.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think they're bad, honestly. I think they're
but do
not
you
the
think?
best.
Yeah, they're not. To me, they don't scream Champions League, right?
I mean, Trippier. I think he's a baller, but how old is Trippier?
He's old.
I feel like he's older, right? Like you got an
Yeah,
older
he's in his
Trippier.
30s. He's
Yeah,
34. That's really old.
34. So for a fullback too, where you need a lot of pace, and at 34, where you could, with running that fast, can easily be injured. It's a risk, and he's not going to be as fast as when he was in his 20s. So you do have the, uh, the smarts. He's lived the experience. Livermento's on the other side. Uh, he's yet to, I feel like, live up to. He's always been younger and the up and rising left back, but I feel like he still hasn't hit the expectations. I feel like it's still like, oh no, he's gonna get there, but he just hasn't got there. We would see a lot of crosses, good balls, fast player, and defensively, I think he's good, but I think they just need a little bit more with on the attacking side from the left side, and Trippier on a bad day is probably going to get outpaced. So uh, I'm not sure who their replacements are, but if that's your starting ones, then that'd probably be the next spot I'd be looking into improving if I was a Newcastle fan.
Yeah, I mean, like their wingbacks are just
Just
Trippier and
traditional fullbacks. You're not going to expect much from them.
yeah, but I mean, as far as who they
Besides
have on their
Trippier, I
squad,
think Trippier will have a bigger role. Yeah, for
they
what they
don't
have
really
in their
have
team,
anybody. They don't really have
they're
anybody.
not at that level.
So I think that's something that they should have invested in this season. Um, and obviously they have the money for it, right? They have that infamous Saudi buyout not that long ago,
Hmm.
and I think that if you really want to be competing for Champions League positions, that's something that me personally, as if I were to be a Newcastle fan, that would kind of worry me because what happens if one of these guys get injured? Because their bench,
Exactly.
they don't really have anybody. Um, but that's Newcastle. They did some decent stuff. Let's see. Like you said, their season starts now, so maybe they could um, reinvent themselves and keep pushing up the ladder and get to the top.
Hmm.
Another team, kind of, I guess, rounding it out today, we got Everton, who I think by no means should was expected to be doing the things that they're doing. How much importance has it been? I think for Everton, like the inclusion of Grealish and even Drewsbury Hall into this squad. How do you see that as being the key factor for their, I guess, short-lived success that they've had so far?
I mean, look, obviously uh, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm not a big fan of Everton, um, but I do like what Grealish has done. I think he's bringing in some flair, and I feel it just seems like he's been liberated. You know, I feel like he was with City. He just was too tied into a system where he wasn't able to flourish and kind of express himself. Now in Everton, you have nothing to lose. You already won everything with City. Now I'm gonna just have some fun, and you can tell he's going in and taking on players. You know, he doesn't have Pep telling him, "No, just play it back. Just play it back. Don't lose the ball. Don't do anything risky." No, he's taking on players. He can move around. He could get creative, and even through his posts, he's been saying like he's been having a lot of fun. So I think that energy is bringing a lot of eyes to Everton and a lot of good energy going on. You know, I mean, first game, I'm not sure. I don't think he played first game. I'm not sure, but they lost
No, I don't
against
think
Leeds.
so.
You know, so it's like, okay, well, there goes our fucking season. Losing to the team that's barely coming in. Then you beat Brighton, which Brighton is, you know, traditionally strong, but they have their ups and downs. You know, and they beat them comfortably 2-0. And then they're going to beat Wolves away 3-2. Good game, lots of goals, but both those wins, I mean, Grealish was played a critical role in all of them. You know, so I think uh, he's a gem for Everton. You know, in Diaye, I don't know how you say his name. In Diaye,
And Jai.
he's been looking good too. He's been scoring. I think he's really stepping up. I think he scored as well too. So if he's just gonna keep receiving those balls from Grealish and they play like they've been playing, I think they're gonna definitely finish higher than they did last season, and people are gonna love Grealish. And I, I mean, I can't say I hate Grealish. I don't care if he's played for City or Everton. He's just, I just want to party with him. You know, I just want to go to the club. I want to bring some beer with him. You know, talk to some huds. Like it just seems like it's a good time. You know, and at Everton, he's expressing himself. He could finally have that good time. So I mean, I'm happy for the lad. Everton, just treat him well and enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you kind of made a huge point right there where it's Everton and he no longer has kind of like such a big spotlight on him. Because going into Man City, he was like a record fee for an English player. A lot of expectation, I guess, for him. They won the Champions League and they're hoping to replicate it again. And then he just kind of got known as being like a drunk. Um, and then again, he went on like a whole year, no goals, because his job wasn't to score goals. His job was to pass it to somebody who was going to pass it to somebody else to score for that, so that Holland could score. So he kind of got created into a pawn, I guess, for Man City's, I guess, elaborate scheme. Um, and Everton picked him up and has been able to kind of polish him off and just let him kind of be free again, what he kind of was doing with Aston Villa before he went to Man City. But I guess as far as Everton, yeah, decent results, pretty good. I mean, we're talking about the team that just beat Man City. Also, Wolves. You could argue about Wolves. They haven't won a single game this season in the Premier League, so it's kind of like, well, who are they really playing? I think the next couple games are going to be really like an eye opening, I guess, or a reality check for them. They got Aston Villa, Liverpool, then they have West Ham, Crystal Palace, Man City, and Tottenham. So they're going to have a couple rough games coming ahead, and I guess we'll see how they kind of uh, how they're able to face these opponents and to see what is Everton really up for this season. Are we talking top 10? Are we talking even potentially some sort of European competition? It is kind of unfortunate that Jack Grealish and Dewsbury Hall are only on a loan. So as far as if they could even make it to these competitions, how beneficial is it for them since they're not going to have the players that got them there? considering maybe they get there, maybe they get the opportunity to sign on these players. I don't think Jack Grealish would sign on like indefinitely. I think this is just kind of like a ego boost, get my confidence back up, maybe get myself into the England squad for the World Cup. But I ultimately want to go back to a big team. Um, so maybe Drewsbury Hall. I think Drewsbury Hall kind of is at that level where he could probably sign on there. But they're both coming from big teams, Chelsea and Man City. So if you do good this season as a player, you probably want to back yourself that you're going to replicate that same sort of form at these bigger teams, and you're going to want to stay on. Um, so yeah, how do you does this change anything for your I guess expectation for Everton? I had them 13th this season.
Yeah, they might get top 10. Who knows? I don't think it changes much. I think I had him lower than. I think I had him like between 15 to 17 around there. I think now they'll probably get anywhere from 10 to 15. It's still a long way to go, and I think teams will get better. But Everton, I feel like they don't really have a high ceiling, in my opinion. Like, yeah, these players are good, but there's not, like they don't have the depth, and uh, Grealish has one bad game. I think that's an L. So there's a lot of key components that have to go in Everton's favor for them to really finish in a good top 10 or even European spot, in my opinion, compared to these other teams who have the depth, have the players, and have the rest of the season to go. I did want to talk about uh, another underperforming team, and it's Aston Villa. I mean, they're sitting 19th with one draw, two L's. Who Aston Villa is, you know, they played PSG and almost, knocked them out in the Champions League just a couple months ago. Now they tied with Newcastle, they lost to Brentford, and they got destroyed by Crystal Palace 3-0 at home. So definitely some, eyebrows going up. I mean, what is my boy doing over there? I forgot his name, but good evening.
Unai Emery.
And Unai Emery, you know, they just got Harvey Elliott and Jadon Sancho, so it looks like they're really reinforcing the midfield. But besides that, they really didn't bring much people. Rashford got sent to Barca. Did they sign what's his face from PSG? The one from PSG and came from Real Madrid.
No, he was just on a loan.
Asensio.
Yeah, he was just on a loan.
I know it was a loan, but they didn't sign him after that.
No, he was just alone for the last season. Yeah, so I think they haven't they
Well,
haven't had the best transfer window.
yeah,
When you
and there
have
was question
players,
marks on Martinez leaving. He's
mhm.
staying, but I mean, this isn't to their level, And Aston Villa, over the last couple of years, have been typically, been able to beat teams with ease, and they've been a European looking side. But right now, I mean, uh, they're sitting second to bottom, so not really what you want. What's up with Watkins? Is he, what's going on? Is he depressed? Is he going through a breakup? Is he not okay? Or does he
I
just
think
not have the help?
yeah, I think there's a lot of uncertainty as far as transfers. There was a lot of talk. There's always talk about Ollie Watkins. Before it was Arsenal. This season there was a little bit of Manchester United rumors. Obviously the Emi Martinez rumors. There's just been a lot of maybe there's just a lot of talk around, and it probably has put the players off a little bit. Um, we mentioned
But I think
The Jacob Ramsey leaving. Also, um, Leon Bailey left. So yeah, it's for the most part it's the same squad, right? You still have your same
yeah.
back four, you have your same midfield. The only thing that really changed was the wingers. Um, so I don't know, is it really that much influencing you, that fact that there's possible transfers? I think it always affects anybody, knowing that maybe this is my last game here. Um,
Hmm.
but they're professionals. I feel like they should be doing better with that sort of pressure, if it is pressure for them.
Yeah, and I mean, after coming in from last season, almost beating PSG, I felt like that should be, as a team, very motivating and inspiring to want to damn, we almost beat the champs. Like this season, we gotta go in, you know. And
Yeah,
as a club, realizing the potential, you know, almost being the best team, invest. You know, I feel like they didn't really have players come in, and you know, you want to invest when you're at the top, and they didn't
yeah,
do any of that.
yeah. To be honest, like I said earlier, they didn't have a good transfer window, in my opinion. I mean, you brought in Jaden Sancho, who has a lot of issues, I guess you could call it, just not the best temperament. Harvey Elliott, I think, is decent, and hopefully he could help boost him up.
He's gonna do good.
They brought in a winger from the French league, Evan Gousson,
Gusan.
uh, who I haven't heard of much of. He's pretty young,
I don't know
24
much
years
about
old.
him.
Yeah, but we'll see. Looks like last season, I can't even see his stats. Well, he has 20 goals in 80 games, so not the most for, especially because you're playing in the French league. Try to translate that into goals in the Premier League. But I mean, just look at their games. They've scored one goal this season, so there is a definite lack of offensive prowess, I guess you could call it. And maybe they just need some more support. Maybe they should have gone in for, I don't know, like maybe just better wingers. To be honest, if you're gonna, I think they got to this point because of the Jack Grealish sale. They invested it well, and they were able to create a squad. But now they're at the point where the players haven't really kind of continued to grow. Now they're just kind of at a stalemate where the players haven't really pushed. And I think maybe in January we'll see some more transfers and something going on because this, yeah, they've definitely been underwhelming this season. But it's just 3 games in. It's just three games in. So of course there's the season's a long season, and
Hmm.
anything could realistically change.
Are they in
They're in
Europa?
Europa League. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Jaden Sancho and Harvey Elliott are gonna help him out a lot. As much as man, I love Harvey Elliott, man. He's a red, came in, dream come true. He came in and would do clutch plays. You know, he's been clutch for us several times, and he just ran the under 21 like Euro for England. Like he's a good player. You know, he's a baller. It's a shame we had to let him, you know, let him go for you know Liverpool's purposes, but I hope he really does good here and really makes a name out of himself because you know it's Harvey Elliott. He's a red. He's a red at heart. He and he's got the potential for it, you know, and he's done good things. And I hope he's coming here. You know, good players. I think he could really make a name for himself. Him and Watkins really link up. Rogers too. I think he's a baller. He had a good season last season, so I hope he kind of finds that form. And them three, I think will um, hopefully do good things. All right, so still early, still the whole season to go. Obviously, this is all our just our talk after 3 game weeks. A week from now, 2 weeks from now, it could be all different. So yeah, this is just what we're gonna be doing with the Prem throughout the other leagues. Um, I don't know if you want to talk about anything else within the Prem, but I think we hit all the major talking points.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's still early on, still early days, but I mean, as far as what we would have expected coming into the season, has been a lot of things that I guess were unexpected. But overall, I think that's kind of it for today. Any last minute confessions before
Nah,
we sign off?
I mean, we've just had so many big games this first 3 weeks. It's felt like it's been going on for longer, you know, but it's only 3 games, so like nothing's set in stone, nothing's proved, nothing's going on besides the fact that we got a good season ahead of us, you know, and there's not a lot of teams with wins. And, you know, when you expect one thing, something totally different is going to happen. So I'm getting Barclay vibes. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the season. I think I've said that multiple times. I'm always excited for this league. I love the Premier League. So let's just go. Come on, you Reds. Yeah, let us know your opinions, your thoughts. If we missed anything in the comments down below. If you'd like to see more, like, subscribe, or not. It's cool. It don't matter. Yeah, it was been Ephraim and Durs. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.